Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Esports Roundup, where I recap what is happening this week in esports, this time on a Saturday. Why? Because I forgot yesterday. I was doing an internship this week and it kind of threw me off. So yeah, that's why we're doing it on Saturday instead of on Friday. Alright, let's just get into it with our tournament section. I'm gonna be real with you guys, there is not a lot going on with the tournaments, but let's just get to it anyway. Starting with Elite League Dota 2 tournament happening, I guess not right now. It concluded today, a little bit ago. And we have the bracket set. We have 3 more matches to go. Team Falcons is waiting in the grand finals. Then we're going to have the lower bracket semifinal between Team Liquid and Extreme Gaming. Whoever wins is going to go into the lower bracket final to face Azure Ray, and whoever wins that game is going to face Team Falcons in the grand final. That is all happening tomorrow. Alright, moving on to Counter-Strike, we have Intel Extreme Masters Chengdu in China, and this is what the bracket looks like. We have also had our grand final set. It is going to be FaZe Clan versus Mouse. It's looking like this is unfortunately another single elimination best of 3 type situation, but what can you do? Then moving on to League of Legends, we have the LPL. The standings are as they are on your screen. Billy Gaming is still in first. Ultra Prime is still in last. Arrows and the number dictate all of the changes that have happened. For example, VOD Gaming went up 2 spots. Wow. Alright, moving on to the LEC. Fnatic is still in first and Carmine Corp is still in last. I think this down 3 arrow actually might be outdated, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And yeah, you can see the rest of the standings. Vitality is second, G2 Esports is third, and so on and so forth. Then for the LCK, we are in the playoffs. Wow, this is how the bracket has shook up so far. In the finals, we have Genji Esports versus T1. That is presumably also happening tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow's just Championship Sunday. I mean, we've got a lot of grand finals lined up. Very exciting. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to win all these tournaments. You think T1 can win that one? Yeah, probably, but I'm going to be real with you. I don't know a lot about Korean League of Legends. Alright, that'll actually do it for our tournament section. Let me open my OBS and get to our main stories, starting off with Someone's Lying. Okay, I know this image is really small on your screen. Basically, on the left is a statement of ESL saying, OneWin will be replaced at ESL 1 Birmingham by OG Esports. The reason being, OneWin didn't get their visas, so they cannot participate physically in the tournament, so they had to be replaced by OG. On the right is a statement of the OneWin coach saying, we're gonna come out with a full statement later. Spoiler, we have our visas. So, someone's lying. Who's lying? Well, there's actually a statement that OneWin brought out later. Let me actually just pull it up on my screen for you guys. That way you can read along with me. Give me my browser. There you go. Basically, what they're saying is, yeah, they missed the original deadline for the visas. ESL gave them another deadline. And they also kind of missed that one, the April 5th deadline. Basically, they told ESL, we have the visas, we have gotten them, we have not been able to get them printed. The deadline passed, and ESL said, hey, you can't participate, you didn't have the visas in time. They have their visas now, so technically, they were correct. They do have their visas, they just didn't have them by the deadline. They said they're grateful to ESL for extending the deadline, but unfortunately, the deadline fell on a weekend, in which case, the bureaucratic institution that issues these visas is closed, which was a bit inconvenient, and now they can't participate in the tournament. It's very unfortunate. Visas continue to be a big issue in esports and getting players to tournaments. Obviously, it's better in some countries than others, but I guess the UK isn't too great about it. But yeah, very unfortunate situation, and we've actually got more visa-related drama and problems coming up in another story. But for now, we are moving on to Character Beats Talent. Yes, Johann No-Tail Zunstein came out with a book, or is coming out with a book, and a biography about his life as a Pro Dota player, the highest earning esports athlete ever. Yeah, quite the accolade. The tagline for the book is, like I said, is character beats talent. It's gonna come out in Danish first. That's where he's from. He's from Denmark. He speaks Danish. And then it's gonna come out in English later. I've read like a bit of the blurb that was on the website for the book. It talked about revenge and stuff. There's obviously a very crazy story. I think it'd be quite an interesting read. This is the first esports player book that's coming out that I can remember. I know that there are a few like esports caster or esports personality books that have come out. Anyhow, yeah. Huge for him, I'd say. Releasing a book is definitely a really big deal. Obviously, I wish him the best and a lot of success. And yeah, I think maybe like as esports ages, as these athletes retire, we are going to see more books because it's kind of a way to generate income and also like keep your legacy alive and maybe like tell people about your like very interesting life. So yeah, we'll see if more people come out with books. But yeah, I'm excited for him and maybe I'll purchase a copy myself. Alright, moving on to our final topic. It's about Moist Esports and Moist Critical, aka Charlie, and he had to release his Apex Legends team because they couldn't get a visa for the ALGS, the Apex Legends Global Series in the US, which led him to say if Jesus was resurrected today, he would get rejected by US immigration. Just talking about how bad it is, how hard it is to get a US visa. This has historically been the case for basically all of esports. Whenever the international is in the US, in Seattle, it's been very hard for a lot of the teams to get visas to go there. And I think this is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future until there is a esports athlete visa, basically a esports equivalent to the athlete visa. Otherwise, it's just going to be extremely hard to get into the US for these events. And I think that really sucks. Yeah. Visas continue to be esports end bosses, and it kind of ruins like LAN events, which is very unfortunate. Obviously hoping, you know, the team stays together and maybe can find a different sponsor, or they can work it out, or they can get back on Moist or something like that. But it's really an unfortunate situation, and yeah, I hope to see less of that in the future, and I hope to see that there is going to be an esports visa. Alright, before I end, I want to give a quick shout out to @esports on Twitter, or basically the esports news outlet, just called Esports. They help me a lot when I'm looking for stories last minute. I just check their Twitter and see what's on there. All 3 of my stories were actually pulled from there. A huge shout out to them. And, you know, I'm not really a journalist, but I do want to give out my sources where I get my stuff from. So yeah, shout out to them. Hey, Editor Connor Works here. I didn't really do the outro, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.